this is the tweet that we're gonna start with, because it is like the main segment, or the main topic, the thumbnail topic for today. Let me make this bigger. Hang on a second here. For the Seeing Impaired, because I wanted to zero in. Like I kind of chimed in on what I thought about, Jordan, and we're gonna hear what JB thinks and everything. But what I want to zero in on is this idea here. The idea that people are complacent not because of politicians you're disappointed in. They are complacent because of a bunch of YouTube grifters obsessed over politicians. So without necessarily speaking about Jordan yet, what do you think, JB, just about this idea that it's not the politicians' fault, them not delivering on promises, them not delivering on things that are popular? That's not the reason. What's affecting complacency is YouTubers. You want to chime in, JB?
It feels like he thinks that people who watch us are stupid. No, I said what I said. It feels like he thinks that people who watch us are stupid, because it's like, oh, well, you guys don't realize what's really going on, so you guys are influenced by the people that you watch in order to think this way. And it's like, could it be the other way around? Could it be that people are now seeing what the politicians are doing, and we're sitting here confirming, yes, you're not crazy. The politicians literally are treating you like crap. So really, your complacency, or not even complacency, but apathy towards the electoral process is well justified, because you feel like there's absolutely nothing that they're doing in your favor, no matter what you do. So then your apathy is now being confirmed by the facts that are being told by some of us who are on YouTube. And so now you're also voicing that same apathy, and now going into a different direction that people like him don't like, which is outside of the Democratic Party. So that's what it seems like to me. So to say that people are complacent not because of politicians, have you talked to people? Apparently you do. But have you talked to many people who are expressing why?
Yeah.
They're complacent. Like, hold up. Why are we expressing the opinions that we express? Is it not because of why? Because of the politicians? Oh, come on, please. Let's be real. It's because of the politicians as to why we're saying the things that we're saying. If the politicians didn't do what they did, then we wouldn't have any fuel in order to be talking about the things that we talk about.
Exactly.
Jordan. So come on, bro. Let's be honest. Why are you mad? Why are you so angry? I mean, you should be celebrating the birth of your daughter that just happened this weekend, but yet you want to tweet at us instead? Come on, dude. Let's
yeah. Do you want to chime in, Rome, before I play this next video? Because it's of Bernie Sanders explains why poor people don't vote. So I want to insert this video also after you have your opportunity.
It's not about, because our job as reporters, as somebody in politics, is to report politics. So it doesn't matter that we are calling out politics. What matters is which politicians that we are calling out. Because, like he said, he wants to talk about GOP more. He wants to talk about Trump because he don't want eyes on the people who have the power right now, which is AOC, which is Biden, which is the people that he helped put in power. And we are telling you guys all of these failures. We are showing you, have proof. That shows him as the fraud that he is. That shows the whatever he says, don't even take him serious anymore. Because look what they have given us. The Progressive Party, more wealth has been transferred to the rich ever. That happened under the progressive wing, under the Progressive Party. And it continues to happen under the pandemic. They didn't do anything about Medicare for all. They had a chance to put it back on the floor. They didn't take it. And with all these failures, it points back at him. Because who was telling you guys this is the best we got? If this is the best you got, this is fucking horrible. We should never do the strategy ever again. He don't want that attention on him. So look at Trump. Look at the GOP. Oh, they're racist. Oh yeah, we know that. But did you know that your guys are racist too? Did you know that? Did you know that Biden is trying to put 100,000 new cops on the motherfucking streets? Did you know he's trying to hire 100,000 IRS? Like, stop it. He's trying to keep the heat off of you, but we're gonna keep it on you. Trust and believe it.
Can I just say an analogy that I spoke about earlier on my channel? I said that getting mad at us for not focusing on GOP is like, it's like walking in a path and you have two snakes that are on the ground. One is extremely brightly colored and you know it's a snake and you know that it can bite you and kill you. The other one is extremely camouflaged. You can't see it until somebody points it out. Do not get mad at us for pointing out the camouflage snake in the grass that you can't see. Stop doing that. Because the thing is that when we stop pointing it out, guess what? People get bitten and they will die. So this is why it's important for us to point it out, especially those of us that are black and on the left, because guess what? That means that other black people who may have been duped by the Democratic Party are now seeing what is being told. And so now they're going to get their lives saved by not being bitten by that snake in the grass. Because now, guess what? They're going to go a different path so that we can actually get to where we need to get to as a people and largely as a world. And so the thing is that please do not sit here and tell us that we should not point out the snake in the grass that's hidden. Because we all know the snake in the grass on the other side that is brightly colored. They're brightly colored and they let us know who they are.
That bitch a cobra. That bitch big as hell. You can't miss that motherfucker.
And my point is this: it makes no sense for a white person to tell black people which races they should fight. That makes no sense, because the races that most would affect me are the police. The races that would most affect me are the Democrats that run the city. Those are the races that most affect me that I would talk about. The races that affect me the most, also Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi. That's why I talk about them. So I talk about the races. So for Jordan, though, to say this is so ridiculous that because we're not pointing out the races in the duopoly narrative. Let's be clear, because Democrats care about races only in order to get black and brown votes. They don't care about races in order to get rid of races. That's not what they care about. They care about it so they can go, look at that racist, come vote for us. That's the entire reason. That's why he, as in Jordan, is invested in us attacking these specific races, the races that you can use as bait in order to get you to come out to vote for Democrats.
And these people are not in power. These people are not in power. And let's be real. The only people that's been holding back these bills was Democrats, especially the good bills. What happened when the pandemic first came out? When the pandemic first started, and Bernie Sanders himself was talking about taking 10%. What was it, 3 or 10% from the Pentagon? They all voted against that shit.
Yeah,
they all voted against that shit. Yeah.
And let's not forget the fact that about the $15 minimum wage, it wasn't just Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin. There were 8 other senators that were Democrats that also voted against it. So it's not just the 1 or 2, it's a whole mass of them. So guess what? They're not for the people. And I'm going to quote one of my tweets. I said, if you don't consider someone who eulogized Strom Thurmond, said he doesn't want his kids to be raised in a racial jungle, supported the Hyde Amendment, and wrote the crime bill to be a far-right extremist, then I have a big diamond-encrusted bridge over an active volcano to sell you.
But somebody in our last stream, I don't know if you watched. I don't know if you had time to watch. They had commented that Jordan said that he was a capitalist.
Yeah, I remember that comment. We put it up. Yeah, so I mean,
it kind of makes sense now. While he's talking down to black people like this, and why he always go back to the Democratic Party, you know, and a motherfucker. I'm asking you, like,
this is the part.
What capitalist cares about the black community? Name me one capitalist that gives a motherfuck about the black community. What capitalist is gonna move for free? It's gonna do this shit for no capital. So you telling me I'm the fucking grifter, but you're a capitalist in black communities with a microphone and a camera? Get the fuck out of here, man. I hope I do see you in Flint. Come out to Flint. I'll be out there December.
Let's go to you, JB, because I'm gonna put up a couple of tweets and give you a chance to, you know, respond since you haven't had to. Go ahead, whatever you wanted to say.
I wanted to ask you, may I read this tweet?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This is what Jordan said. He said, having integrity means not paying for clicks. It also means not ignoring the exploding white supremacy and violent conspiracists coming from the GOP because grifters pretend the gravest threat in America is AOC and liberal shit lips. I'm gonna break this down.
Oh God, this is so dumb. This
having integrity means not paying for clicks. Like constantly fear mongering about a president that's no longer in power. Okay, next point. It also means not ignoring the exploding white supremacy and violent conspiracies coming from the GOP. So you don't think white supremacy exists in the Democratic Party? Are you?
Look at who your fucking president is. Look who the fuck you voted for.
Hold up, Rome. You mean to tell me that somebody like the Democratic Party, they don't have white supremacy and violent conspiracies in their party too? Are you willing to come out there and say that? Next, coming from the GOP, because grifters, who is grifters? Pretending that the gravest threat in America is AOC and liberal shit lips? I would argue that they are just as grave of a threat as the conservatives in the Republican Party. Why? Because here's the thing. They will kneel in kente cloth and say Black Lives Matter in the morning, and then they will put a whole bunch of police in the streets to bash our heads and kill us and shoot us in the back in the evening. Wait, are you meaning to tell me that you don't think that they are? I'm going to tell you this. Your privilege as being white has blinded you to the fact that there are white supremacists in both parties. And now you're getting upset at us for pointing out that the party that you so wholeheartedly are loyal to and give fealty to, that we're actually pointing it out. Here's the problem. Just because you criticize, and this also goes to you, Michael, of the Humanist Report. This also goes to you. Just because you criticize them does not mean you still don't have loyalty to them. I'm going to repeat myself. Just because you criticize them does not mean you're still not loyal to them. Because guess what? You are. And because of that, you're now endorsing or continuing to drive people into a party that continues to do the oppression towards people that look like us. And so when we point it out, and the fact that you're getting mad at us, that shows a lot about the privilege that you extol, that you continuously uplift, because you don't see it. But when we tell you that is happening and you don't listen to us, that's showing a lot of privilege that we just do not have. And now for you to do that while you're taking time away from your new daughter being born and your mother of your child recovering, that says something to us. Like, why are you doing that?
That's hate. That's hate, my nigga.
My thing is, it's like, look,
yeah, that's hate.
Number one, please stay out of this debacle that Michael decided to start. Because number one, congratulations on your kid, but why are you coming after us and trying to call us grifters? Also, let me get one thing straight, all right? Because I got time today. You telling us that we're somehow grifters because we tend to be associated with Jimmy Dore is the highlight of some type of, white supremacist thinking. Why? Because you think that we're too stupid to have our own ideas.
Yep.
You think that we're too stupid to
this white man fooling these black boys.
This white man came in and fooled us. When instead we actually see the things that we overlap and agree on. And this white man was cool enough to platform us on his much larger channel. Now, does Jimmy have some things that we disagree with? Absolutely. Does Jimmy agree with us on everything? Absolutely. But here's the crazy part. You also have a lot of overlapping agreements with him too. And yet you talk about him going against the Democratic Party just for clicks, and it's like, but Donald Trump is no longer in power.
Hey, CJ, can you go in the DM group? I think I sent you that one video at Jordan versus Jordan. This would be a great time to play that.
Yeah, I got it. I'll bring it up for you. I'll bring it up.
I'm pretty much done, but I'm just like, yo, don't do that. Do not tell us what's something that we've been living through all of our lives, and then you're telling us that we don't talk about it enough. Like, who are you? The height of the audacity, the caucasity of it all, to tell us that we do not cover white supremacy enough? Have you talked about Jaheim McMillan, sir? Did you? Did you talk about any of these things? Now, I will give you this. You did talk about Pushan Brown and the murder of Pushan Brown's sister, Pushan Brown, and talk to her sister about it. I will give you that. But at the same time, dude, do not come in here and tell an entire black group that covers white supremacy and capitalism and imperialism and colonialism that we don't cover white supremacy enough. Number one, you need to apologize to us publicly for exactly that. Second, Michael from the Humanist Report, did you apologize to Savvy and Colin yet? Have you? Have you apologized to them yet? You need to. Because I said this on my channel, I'm going to say it right here. You both need to apologize. Because that is crazy, the fact that you would actually stoop to that. Please go ahead.
They just mad because they're getting called out, and there's nothing else they can do about it. So now they got to try to project and reflect all that shit. Like, oh, you're this, you're that. Like, nigga, you literally carry water for the Democratic Party when we told you what was going to happen. So now when the people was telling you, we told you this is going to happen, you get mad at the people. No, don't get mad at the people. Be mad at your motherfucking self, nigga, because either you was dumb as hell or you a motherfucking sellout. Because it's crazy how all of us have this information at the tip of our thumbs and fingertips, but somehow all these these reporters and these podcasters don't get the same fucking news that we get. I see children being blown up with U.S. bombs in Africa in 2020. Have Jordan covered some shit like that? No, because it's under the Democratic Party control. So if he was to cover some shit like that, he's gonna make himself look dumb. And yes, he's gonna criticize, but he's not gonna stand against them. He's gonna tell you guys, okay, look, this is the best we got. You want these guys? Bitch, I don't want none of this shit. And I've been telling you shit. I've been telling you this for years. Get out of here, man. You can go ahead and play this. Yeah, this is a great example of how he contradicts himself.
Yo, Rome, hang on. Let me ask you this. Would you get pissed off at me if I told you, oh, well, you don't focus on the guy in the white robe and the white hood enough. Instead, you focus too much on the dude in the suit. Even though they both are the exact same and they both believe the exact same.
And one more powerful than the other.
why in the hell would I focus on the one that's in the white robe with the white hood, and I don't focus on the one in the suit? Because the one in the suit is the one that's smiling at you. Everybody knows the dude in the white hood, the white robe and the white hood are the ones to be avoided. Everybody knows that.
Right.
So why are you bashing us over the head if we don't focus on the one that's covert? Look, maybe you should pay more attention to us because we're pointing out the ones that are covert that you don't notice. Because we're literally the alarm system for you. God,
he know this shit. He know this shit, but this is the shit that keep him paid, and he need the Democrats in power in order to keep fucking over black people because it makes him that motherfucking money. It makes him that bread. Hell yeah, nigga, I go to Flint 18 times to make some fucking money as a capitalist. Like, get the fuck out of here. Even you can never give back. Like, you can never give back the shit that you got. You can never give back as much as you had gave. And for him to even be like, oh, I did this and did that, bitch, you obviously ain't doing enough. You obviously ain't fighting enough. You need an organ. You went out there 18 times and you ain't build no type of organization. You know how many people I would have had in the care party if I would have went to fucking Flint?
He's a capitalist. He's not thinking of that. Capitalists just give to charity so they can feel good. Capitalists just give to charity not so they can feel good. They're not trying to change the material conditions. They're just trying to give you something for the day. You know what I mean? They show up for Thanksgiving and then you don't see them the rest of the year. But let's play this video. If you want me to stop it anywhere, just let me know if you want me to stop it.
Oh yeah, he support Israel. Fuck this nigga.
Just change the topic or deflect onto something totally unrelated because they only want to focus on the Democratic Party. When I was at the Young Turks, I said that publicly, like, enough with Trump and Russia 24/7. That's not why people come to TYT. And it's only gotten worse. It's basically telling us what we already know, that Republicans are terrible. They only want to focus on the Democratic Party. For 5 years, 80% of your stuff has been loser Donald and tyrannical Donald. I would say you are in a camp. They only want to focus on the Democratic Party. But what they're doing is normalizing white supremacy. 2020, I voted for Biden. Not because I wanted to, but because unlike
this nigga said, normalize it, man. Get the fuck out of here, boy.
By focusing 99%.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting line to say, normalizing white supremacy, as if this whole process hasn't normalized.
Like, we ain't talking about overthrowing this whole motherfucking system. Get the fuck out of here.
That is a curious comment. That is one. Let's continue here.
Percent of their attention on liberals and the Democrats. Free speech absolutist Glenn Greenwald, Jimmy Dore, a lot of other channels that kiss off their ass and essentially just kiss their ring and defend them. Yeah. I mean, Tucker Carlson right now is doing more anti-war than anyone at NBC, and I can't stand Tucker Carlson. I think he's really, really bad. I think he does a lot of racist shit, but at least he's talking against the war. He's doing that more than anyone on NBC and CNN. The problem is when, blinders, earmuffs.
I've never seen that live. I wish I would have saw that video. I gotta find that video.
White supremacists, autocrat Republicans. In 2020, I voted for Biden.
At the end of the day, I think Donald Trump is a danger. I think he's terrible. I also know that I'm a white person saying this. But Hillary Clinton is not slam dunk 100% better that I, as an individual, can in good conscience vote for her.
Blinders, earmuffs. I'm very much waiting for their coverage of Ron DeSantis banning protest in residential areas.
By the way, folks, for all the trolls out there who ask people to cover things, me too, me and other people, have you ever considered maybe we looked into it? Just saying. Anyway, so...
Blinders, earmuffs. Trump as the boogeyman is no longer a thing. He'll be gone soon. Take the fight to corporate Democrats. They just lost House seats during a deadly pandemic. They are vulnerable. Again, this isn't about Jimmy. They only want to focus on the Democratic Party. Blinders, earmuffs, it's Jimmy and the rest of them. There doesn't seem to be any consistent principles here, right? There doesn't seem to be any core consistent principles. There seems to be a laser focus on one party. Blinders, earmuffs.
What I tell people is if you have a conscience, you will vote third party for the rest of your life, because how dare you vote for these people?
In 2020, I voted for Biden.
Joe Biden, a racist, warmongering puppet and tool of Wall Street and an enemy of the workers, and somehow you're going to pat yourself on the back and you're a good person.
In 2020, I voted for Biden.
It's time to start voting third party, no matter what the third party is. You got to stop giving your vote to these two corrupt, murderous parties.
Right. I spoke with POTUS in
Murderers.
Tulsa. I told them we're dying in St. Louis. The police kill us at the highest rate in the nation. Community members and children are murdered at the highest rates. Mr. President, I'm inviting you to our community to hear our stories. This is like asking the arsonist who burned down your house to come rebuild it. 2020, I voted for Biden. I mean, part of why St. Louis has the highest, one of the highest police killings rate is because Joe Biden sent the police weapons of war with the crime bill. 2020, I voted for Biden. It's like, I like Cori Bush as a person, but you're trying to work with somebody who literally is responsible, in large part responsible for the problem. And it just seems like they don't get that. 2020, I voted for Biden.
So, wow, that flew by. That was almost a 4-minute clip. It didn't feel like a 4-minute clip. It felt like a pretty quick clip. But that clip sums up sort of, to me, not just Jordan, because his sort of representation of what a left is actually personified through the entire apparatus of American left, of the American left. It's heavily middle class or upper class. It's heavily white, and that's a problem. I mean, there's nothing else to add there. Either of you wanted to chime in on that last clip, the contradictions, anything else?
I'm going to tell you what Colin said on my stream on Saturday. He said, everybody wants to be Malcolm X when the GOP is in power.
That's a great comment.
So
everybody's real left,
yeah,
when the GOP's in power.
Yep. Everybody's about it. Remember that phrase? Everybody's about it when you got a Trump in office. But once Biden comes in office,
Yep. Sleeping on the same shit, and that Biden is fighting for some of Trump policies to stay in power, motherfucker. And he actually built on the fucking wall. And what you Democrats do? You cheer. And the ones that didn't agree with the wall, you ain't say shit. You people get people killed and hide your hands. It's sick.
And what about the report about AOC literally giving money to CIA Democrats? What about that? Right? What about people like Ilhan Omar and Jamal Bowman also?
I really don't know what Bernie Sanders thinks he's trying to pull.
Sorry, meant to not do that. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. What about them approving to send money to the Nazis in Ukraine? By the way, you guys should watch the interview with that CJ, Nick, and Rome had with you yesterday. That was a brilliant interview. Watch that also after the stream. But the different battalions, the different military militias in Ukrainian military, right? We're literally sending them, and they're all Nazi affiliated groups. We're literally sending that to Ukraine, and yet you have the progressives giving them agreeing to send them money. And so, like, why in the world are we sitting here glad-handing progressives when there's nothing progressive about them? And so when we attack the progressives for not being what they say they are, somehow we're wrong. Somehow, for us not giving attention to the brightly colored snake in the grass, we're wrong instead of pointing out the camouflage snake in the grass.
The most venomous snake
Right.
in the grass. It ain't the biggest, but that motherfucker will knock you out. And this is what the Democratic Party is. And like,
He's basically saying, forget what your radical icons have told you about the white moderate being the most dangerous. Follow what we're telling you.
Basically.
That's basically what he's telling us.
he's going against everything Malcolm X had told us. And
Yes.
but this is his bread and butter, you know. And I see one of his fans in the comments.
It's always gonna be that.
It's all good, you know, because if somebody was attacking RBN, they like you see what happens, you know.
Yeah,
Right, you know, but Hey,
I do want to
when you step over, you know what I'm saying? When you get too big for your bridges and you end up stepping over to a realm you shouldn't be in, this is what happens. If you're gonna be a journalist, be a journalist. But don't step over into what black activists is doing. Don't tell black people what is. Don't try to explain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we got it from here. I'm pretty sure we got it from here. And all that shit, if you don't see the racism and all that toning, then you might have a racist problem yourself. You might have some prejudice yourself that you might have to take up with. And that goes for all his white audience that's watching this. And I don't give a motherfuck if he reported in Flint. There are a lot of reports going on in Flint. We know what's going on in Flint. I don't need any motherfucker to tell me I can go to sleep today, wake up tomorrow, and know Flint ain't got motherfucking clean water.
Rome, let me explain.
My kids know that. My kids knew Flint ain't had clean water before they knew their motherfucking ABCs.
And you're proving the point that I'm going to make right here.
You don't need them.
The reporting that people love to bring up about Jordan, for example, that's reporting for people that don't live there or know people. You get what I'm saying? Jordan's not reporting for me or JB or Rome. We are attached to the communities where we know it before him. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that's not what his reporting is for those professional managerial class to see what's happening. That's what that reporting is for. The pedestal that we put journalists on, I'm just not there. I'm not there. I'm not there with the he does this, he does that. I'm not there as a person who my view of journalists is not to put them on any type of pedestal. It's almost like that's your obligation. I almost feel like everybody's obligation is to report stuff. So I don't view the way people view journalism and view reporters. I don't view them that way.
But this is America. Everybody has to be a celebrity, you know what I'm saying, these days. Everybody has to look at motherfuckers like celebrities. And I just, I ain't gonna put nobody out there, but I was just at this, this one of my comrades giveaway, and everybody's just like, everybody's acting like just, it was just throwing me off. They was acting like I was just some big guy. I'm like, no. So I'm trying to come, talk to everybody.
Real thing, But JB got to take off. JB got to take off, Rome. So let's give him an opportunity to give. I don't know if you're gonna have another chance to chime in about Mike. If you wanted to give any last words, because I know you talked about Jordan, but you never got to give your opinion about anything that Mike has said. So if you wanted to do that, or just tell us what's going on with you, when can the next time people see you before you head out?
Yeah. So first of all, to one of the persons in the chat that thinks that us talking about this is stupid, calling somebody out on their bullshit is not stupid, by the way. Just letting you know that for Miss Andy that's in the chat. But so
you're free to go anywhere else. You're just like Nick said. You're free to go somewhere else.
Go.
Literally, you're free to just not be here.
Yeah, if you think this is stupid, then okay.
Yeah,
fine.
like your boundaries and your start and stop aren't ours, and stop trying to project that on us.
Yeah, please don't do that. That's
white people for you, man. They just can't help it.
Yeah, like get the fuck out of here if you don't like it. Like literally, get the fuck out of here if you don't like it.
Yeah, because
we can't help themselves,
BS when we see it. Because here's the problem. Here's the problem. We have been holding our tongue for so long, especially when it comes to a lot of the progressive white spaces as well as the liberal spaces. And the thing is that we have been holding our tongue and trying to be nice. But the thing is that every single time we decide to go a different route that is more helpful for us, then we get the finger wag. We get somebody telling us, you're not doing it right. When then we actually go according to the people who are our revolutionary leaders that did it, and it actually worked. Because every single time we go with the people that sold out, guess what? It didn't work. We go to route of Maxine Waters, it doesn't work. We go to route of James Clyburn, it works. We go to route of Barack Obama, it doesn't work. So guess what? We're going with Michael X. We're going with Fred Hampton. We're going to Assata Shakur. We're going to Angela Davis. We're going to Martin Luther King Jr. We're going to Malcolm X and Huey Newton. We're going that route because guess what? It worked. And so since we're going at what's work, then please do not tell us what doesn't work because we've seen it with our own eyes and we have the history books to tell us that it actually happened. So please do not sit here and tell us that we are just wasting our time. No, thing is, people need to realize and people need to be called into account for what they say and do against us. And every single time somebody else does it to a different community, they get called out and then they have to apologize. Guess what? They do it against us and they don't apologize. Unless they say nigga, then that's the only time they're calling the question. So no, absolutely not. We will talk about this. Welcome to RBN.